I'd just like to point out, I haven't played RBI Baseball since the Clinton administration, and I've never even played this one, but what do? I still go up there, first pitch swinging, because I'm a winner, and that's what winners do. Winners like me and Jay Bell.
Fly ball to left field.
And that's one of the many reasons RBI Baseball has always been such a tremendous video game. Now, you can rest up for an off-season or 2 decades. It doesn't even matter. When you finally come back to Tengen's pixelated diamond, it only takes one swing. And then you remember why you used to play this every freaking day. But again, I mean, not this one specifically. This is my first experience with this particular version, and frankly with this franchise on a 16-bit console, and although it's the same awesome baseball game at its core, I actually prefer the older versions, and there are a few reasons why. RBI Baseball 94 was the second game in the series to use the year for its subtitle, having dropped the numerical sequels after 1992's RBI Baseball 4, but there's more separating RBI 94 from the games preceding it, and for the most part, that has to do with aesthetics. Now, in my opinion, games from the 16-bit era have aged better than any other. I mean, an older game can just look old, and frankly, there are plenty of newer games that just don't have the same visual polish and timeless charm of some 16-bit games. And so, obviously, it makes sense that RBI Baseball 94 would emphasize those. Unfortunately, that emphasis gets in the way of the gameplay just a bit. So gone are the basic ones of earlier games, and in their place are some slick new player sprites. You also have the pixelated portraits of the actual big league players, which pop up during each at-bat and were probably very cool in 1994. For example, there's Bo Jackson. Although, unfortunately, he can't run in zigzags in this game. And frankly, he looks pissed about it. Of course, with such fancy new graphics, you want to show them off, and so this version of RBI Baseball has a much tighter camera than the older versions, which makes the players look bigger and more detailed, but at the cost of gameplay. You see, the camera's so tight, in fact, that you can't really play defense. Your team just automatically plays defense, and you sort of just throw to the bases. Now, the problem is, when there's a hit they can't play, you can't tell, so you're waiting for them to make the automatic play because you can't freaking see, and when they don't, that's an automatic double for the opposition. Now again, the gameplay is basically still the same as prior versions, so it's still an outstanding game of retro baseball, but these changes, most of which seem to be based on the aesthetic improvement of the 16-bit era, actually get in the way. The formula for this franchise was always simplicity, and as RBI Baseball 94 proved, sometimes simpler is better.
Short